Yo, it's nigga. It's on you. You can't bring us in, bro. Alright, welcome to the Open Exchange podcast.
One eternity later.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the podcast. It's Open Exchange. Damn.
Get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Open Exchange where we talk about the next chain of events. My name is Nate. How y'all doing? I'm gonna pass it over to my man to the left.
What's up, yo?
Put my pocket.
Boobie.
Lex.
And here we are. This is our first episode, so let's get into it. Yo, why the X? Why the what? Oatmeal isn't wet. Is oatmeal not wet though? Why are you crying? Stupid.
Your oatmeal should have a certain consistency.
I mean, definitely.
It can't be too much.
You mean like watery type shit?
Yeah.
Copy.
Yeah, my bad.
It's just oatmeal. A little sticky.
The viscosity of the oatmeal should not be that fluid.
Oatmeal is technically wet though.
I mean, it depends on the
We're not about to get into this.
It is serious.
Nah, just a little
We're
bit.
not
Like,
about to do that shit right now.
no, okay, we're not going into water that's wet.
Yo, bro, leave me and my shit alone.
No, but yeah, yo, so
Niggas, man.
Alright, nah, so but I was telling, y'all was telling, me and Leon was talking about shorties and shit. He was talking about some shorty on the train. He kind of told me he didn't bag nobody. That's very
He didn't.
good.
I know he didn't. I got faith in that he did.
Very tough. It's okay. It's okay.
But eventually I was telling him, like, we got to a point I was telling him, like I don't think I know how to build in this sense, you know, with somebody, like, and I don't think like I know what building is obviously, but it was just like, and you know better than anybody, like, well, yeah, y'all know better than anybody. Right, so, like, like, I was telling you, I feel like I don't, like, my relationships don't last whether I do something or not, because of the fact that I'll be ready to dip out. I'll be ready to go. Like, as soon as you get,
Like, as soon as
The first
something
time
goes
was
left.
I'll be ready to, as soon as we argue about some shit, I don't want to deal with you. Like, straight up, like, you know what, I can't see you for the rest of the day, or maybe the year, I don't know. But, and I was telling that's because probably, like, the marriages in my, like, family, and you know, like, they only were based off the fact that they stayed because of kids, not because of love, not because of, you know what I'm saying? Like, happy wife, happy life type shit.
I wish some of my people, my family knew that.
Wait, where we going?
We're gonna skip over that.
Nah,
I don't think there's nobody really believe in divorce in my family.
First of all, divorce costs money.
So like the fact that it happened with my mom, that's different. My grandmother, my grandfather, they never divorced. They don't even like each other.
I've
had
people, like I know people who they want to leave their partner, but they be like, you know how much divorce costs? And I be like, shit.
Separation.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
might as well.
yeah, we know we not together.
Yeah.
We know.
That's
So
what
it's like
that
separated. We know. It's just like
I was just like thinking like, damn, like, and as we were talking about it, he was, Leon, I forgot what you said, but it went along the lines of the fact that sometimes in that aspect, he like, I was also talking to you about like way before, like basically like but you know what it is though, like you know what to do in order to like get to that level. Like, I mean, I know what how to build, but I can technically still do it. It's like you know,
I know.
no, not you specifically, but you don't have something. Okay, in a sense, like you have like a bad father figure or some shit, right? So you know what not to do.
Oh yeah,
You know, shit type situation. So like because you don't know, you see what not to do, you can do the exact opposite. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like people take different takes on that. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad was like a very like happy, like I said, happy wife, happy life type shit. But he'd be very like tight about a lot of shit. You feel me? Like bye.
That's because he living wrong.
He
Don't doing it right. He living. Listen, man.
trying to say he living wrong, my mom.
Now, I'm not saying that, but like, first of all,
You gonna say that about Patricia?
nah, I love Miss Patricia. I love her. You feel me?
She cooked for you, son.
She did. Her legume. It's called sauce pole.
So why?
So one of them. Like, but you know, for me, I never believed in that whole happy wife, happy life. I don't agree with it.
Then
Why not though?
Yeah.
First, what does happy life, happy wife?
No, happy
happy
wife.
wife,
It's happy
happy
wife.
life. My
Yeah.
bad. What does happy wife, happy life actually mean to you? Like, what do you gain? Like, what do you get from that saying?
When I hear people normally say it, right? Like, so I hear people, they be like, let's say he might not be agreeing with something, but he be like, happy wife, happy. Like, I don't, like, I feel like I shouldn't have to be miserable. Like, okay, if I don't want to do something, or this is like inconveniencing me, or like I don't feel good about it, whatever the case may be, I don't feel like I should just do it just because, like, that's what make you happy. Like, if, let's say, right, yeah, I know some. Y'all got any examples? Like, I pretty.
You talking about means like in the means of like self-sacrifice for someone else's happiness?
Yeah, like I feel like it should be a mutual thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because okay, if that's the case, you better be like happy husband, whatever rhyme with it.
Yo, wait, what wrong with
Because you get it, but y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah, nah.
Let's
No.
just say
I guess
hubby.
that's why.
We don't get shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? Like I shouldn't have to. If this is making me happy, I shouldn't be doing it just because it make you happy. And you should understand that. You shouldn't even want me to do it, knowing how it make me feel.
But that's the thing, like in our society, it's commonly viewed that love is based on sacrifice.
Okay, matter of fact, perfect example, right?
Compromise.
We got a homie, right? All of us got a homie, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We got a homie, right? He broke, right?
Shit, sounds like me already.
He broke, right? But he broke. But like his shorty always wanna go out, right? But he's steady paying.
Coming
Cause
out of
she
pocket.
happy with it.
Coming out of pocket.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, but it's like it's killing his pockets. She know he don't got money, or like they'll do things like she might give him the bread to pay. You know what I mean? But it's like
Just to do it.
yeah, like if I'm just because this is making you happy, like this is killing me. Like
But that's
financially, it's killing me.
Y'all trying to kill me? You killing me, man!
So like I shouldn't be doing it. You feel what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I feel like when it comes to relationships and the happy wife, happy life applies, but only in certain circumstances.
Right.
Being that you're in love with somebody, it's different. You'll want to make certain sacrifices, but if it's killing you, it's dead.
I don't be saying though, but some people be looking at it like, alright, listen, I'm your girl, so you shouldn't be doing it, whether this make you happy or not. Like I want it, so deal with it. Like, hold the fuck on.
Because in some cultures, in order to even get next to a woman, you gotta bring a cow, 3 goats,
Yeah,
a pillow of hay.
I don't like that much
You're really your pop.
But it's crazy that you just said that, Leon, because when you think about it, like, usually the saying is to find a wife is to find the priceless woman, right? Like, you can't put a price on it. But you just stated something where, like, there's the woman, this is like kind of off talking on a tangent, but like, back then, there was always still a set system, not system, but like, method of thinking where like, a woman equals this amount, you know what I'm saying? It's worth this amount, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you should have for a trade-off or a send-off. Said I don't got it, nigga. But nah, I feel like, I will hold you, son, compromise is hard, son.
How y'all feel about that
Compromise
shit?
is hard, yo. Like, I feel like the happy wife, happy
Shut the fuck, shut! No! Oh, shit! Say it again! Say something else!
life shit, the self-sacrifice, it depends, because like, it depends on who your partner is, because I feel like
That's true.
a lot of people, I'm not gonna say women, but a lot of people feel like they in the right, and sometimes they think because what they say is right or what they think is right, that's automatically, that's no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me nothing else, and it's like, bro, like, and then what's worse, they'll try to make you agree with what they think, you know, what they say, and it's like, bro, I just told you nah. You know what I'm saying? I personally feel like happy wife, happy life just makes you. I'm about to hate you with that.
Boobie should know best. He in a relationship, so. I mean, you don't want to marry out here.
Yo,
He's married out here. He's married out
How
here.
you even gonna do
We
this? This is
single.
the first
We
episode.
single.
This
We
is the
single.
first episode.
This is why we single, clearly. So, you feel me?
That's
He is
fair
a
enough.
happy one over there. So,
Sensei.
First, you the most. I ain't told you really. You're probably the most sensible nigga here, right? I'm not that sensible man here.
Honestly.
But that's the thing though. The way I see it, it's like, I ain't gonna lie, at first it was a bit of a struggle. Like trying to
Be careful,
compromise.
she looking at you.
Yeah, I know.
She like, I can't wait till we get home.
I ain't forcing them to say this, right?
For you.
Shut it up.
Like, but I mean, it takes time to get used to that, you know. And I feel like most of us, well, at least me personally, like it was something that was kind of hard being a single and then being into a relationship, having to give up that sacrifice for also thinking about someone else's feelings, as well as it sounds like kind of crazy, almost narcissistic. Like, damn, I gotta think about someone else. Nah, but it's like,
Nah, that's exactly it.
but that's the thing though.
It is though, bro.
It's a trade-off. Like there's certain examples she doesn't agree, and I agree, but like we'll just battle it out. I'll be mad. Sometimes we just agree to disagree. It's like that sometimes, you know.
Shit, I wish it was that.
I mean, you don't ever. It's easier said than done.
Yeah,
I guess it's
it
easier said
takes
than
time
done. We
to
all
practice.
experienced a relationship where like we had there was differences. But I'm just saying like that shit is hard. So
I feel like you end up in a better situation when you actually evolve and make that change. And I feel like that's really an evolution to be able to change from just worrying about your own feelings to being able to take into account another person's feelings.
And we young, bro. Like, shit, I'm 23.
should we
young.
really be using that as an excuse though?
Bro, what I'm saying is though, right? Okay, so we still growing, and also too, we still are like in our own journeys and our own paths, whatever the case may be, right? Like, focus. So so let's look at you, right? For example, right? You do music, so you constantly thinking of new ideas. You like ways to push your music, writing songs. Then you're a poet, so you gotta write shit down. You feel what I'm saying? So you got all this shit going on, so it's like it's hard sometimes for me to just be sitting and just constantly just think about one person. I'm just think I gotta put all this to the back burner. And then sometimes it's like that person don't even be giving you the same energy back. So it's like, hold on.
That's a whole conversation.
That's
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's a
So it's
pocket.
like think about how many failed relationships we done, or people we done dealt with. Like, you know what I mean? At this point, that's why I told you, I'm done. When I'm like 28.
Don't look at it as a failure.
Nah, when I say failure, I mean like situations that didn't pan out.
Okay.
Right? Like we was like that. You got your hopes
So
up. Like,
experiment 626
Like I had plans.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying, bro? Like you play. Y'all know how it's like. So you put an expectation on, like, all right, cool, and then it just like, all right, you know what? I'm back there. You know what I mean? Because that, like you said, that's energy. Like, it's a lot. It's a whole nother being. You got to make sure she good. I'm not saying this is a negative thing either. You know what I mean? Some people could do it. I'm not one of the people. So
He said, don't try it.
look right at. I'm not one of them. So it's like because.
Experience points, y'all. Let them know.
Yeah, bro, but it's not that. I'm not saying that I'm not.
What? Sorry.
My phone XP level.
He said your HP level's low. What the fuck?
It's like, sometimes it's double rep, sometimes it's not.
Nah,
Okay.
right. You right. You know what? You got.
Get your badges up.
Listen,
That's
you're
what
not
I'm
gonna
saying.
beat the
I'm not saying I'm not willing to like get there.
Same.
I'm just not there.
It's emotional
Right now,
intelligence,
So you feel me? So he said what?
Why are you flaming this man,
It's
sir?
an emotional intelligence on bronze.
I got badge, bro.
He said, I'm sharpshooter.
But like, nah,
We never get team takeover.
bro, like even my mom,
he a schooler, that's why.
even my mom though, she be telling me, she be like, "What are you worrying about them little girls out there? Like you need to just be."
Nah, moms be right.
Moms, yo. Moms,
And
right.
it's always on point, bro. Cause so I remember one time, right, she heard me on FaceTime. I was on FaceTime for 4 hours, bro. 4 hours. 4 hours. I don't even like answering the phone for 4 minutes.
Yes.
4 hours on
He did.
FaceTime. You feel me? So, cause then she actually, she like, who you on the FaceTime? I was like, oh, nah, some shorty. She was like, She was like, that ain't gonna work out. But I was like, what you mean? You ain't even hit a conversation. She was like, yeah, she's first of all, y'all too young for all that. So, yeah, I need that. And I was like, you know what? Because it didn't pan out like a week later. So I was like, you know what? She right. And then you know the crazy women I done dealt with. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just leave that alone. For me personally, I can't do it. I just don't got the
So going off of that, so do you feel like that's a thing of it being too young? Like, do you feel like there's a certain age where
You
the
know
baby
what?
comes into play?
I'm about to say I don't know. Maybe it's just because of where I'm at, how I view like a relationship, the equal exchange of it. I don't really be getting that. You know what I mean? In some aspect, like so, it's like I'm good. like I notice now people more so caught up on their relationship being based off of Instagram or like Twitter. Like they see I getting flown out to, I'm out in this country, I'm out in this state, I'm doing this, whatever the case may be, or he buying me a Chanel bag or a Louis bag, whatever the case may be. And it's not even to say that I don't want to.
thing now. Dior's.
But my fault. If you adore me, Dior me. You right. My fault. Right. So
I
like,
look at Nike, I like you.
said if you like me, buy me Nike.
Straight up.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm good with a pair of Karachis. You feel me?
Oh,
Give me some Crocs.
They are.
Give me some Crocs.
Converse. Give him some Converse.
Can't go wrong with kick arounds.
True. He got like 7 pairs of Converse. That's disgusting.
Word G bit.
Definitely Roy G. Biv though, and they all in Roy G. Biv.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, they are too. Oh, that's disgusting.
Let's talk. You loved the Vans at one point. Let's talk
We're not
about
gonna
it.
talk about
Oh.
Damn, Daniel.
I was going through something.
Hey, what you mean, son?
I was going
Bro, literally every time we go out, he be like, I want another pair. Why? Son?
I mean, but I was also at a
Different
point getting
colors.
them for free from this dude from
That's
Vans.
very true. That's very true. So I got a question. And based off the last thing you said, relevant to topic.
Wait, would you date in your 20s or 30s?
You said, I'm sorry,
20 or
what?
30s?
In 20, so I said 20 or 30s. In your 20s, do you feel like people should be dating in their 20s?
Let me first answer that with an experience I had.
Okay, I want to hear this.
So back in school.
Story time.
Back in school, freshman year. Someone that I ended up not really hanging out with that much later on, but like, you cool with them in passing. You connect with people real quickly in college based off of the most minuscule shit. You from Brooklyn? I'm from Brooklyn. Lit, we friends. But homie, he was very vocal and open with the fact that he thought there's no point to being in a relationship in college.
Not post state.
I mean, just in general, across the board. We know about the name drop.
What is it? We got name drop places.
But we top 5 on that list of like, if your shorty go there, if your dude go there, it's clip. But regardless,
I feel like it's anything.
regardless, he's very vocal with that fact. It was known, like you knew, if you knew him, I know a couple people watching this is going to see this, like they don't know exactly what I'm talking about. But he said this multiple times. However, when we still ended up in a relationship after like, some life choices he made. And
Beautiful side. What? Look at your pupils.
they put each other through hell. Because I don't really know the full backstory of their situation, but for a dude to be in a relationship, end up in a relationship when he's very vocal over like long points of time, you shouldn't be in a relationship in college, a lot must have been going on there.
Right. Yeah, he got put on something. God.
Either she got him, he got her, whatever, like.
It just panned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it could happen. I'm not saying that. Because I know a few people that's like married or engaged, so I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm saying from my experience.
I've seen people get married outside of college, in college. I've seen somebody get proposed to at Calabash in the dance hall.
Gavin. Yeah, it was a great example. My son Big, shout out to my boy Biggs. He just got engaged. He got they used to run track.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm saying it could happen. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he did too. For shout outs to you.
Facts. Champagne Robbie, shout outs to you.
It's
Champagne
on
Robbie,
shit.
Champagne Robbie, right?
Why do you remember that?
He said it like it's catchy, you feel me?
But for me though, it just never materialized to that, and that's why.
So I mean, I feel like, you know what it is though? I feel like maybe because dating in our 20s is a form, shows us how conditional our love is versus unconditional. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we base, because like you said, like we're basing a lot of what we see, like, okay, maybe not like us, but like in everybody, like what we see, like on social media, like, yo, if he doesn't buy me this, and he doesn't do this, he doesn't not here, or X, Y, Z,
Right.
then you don't,
That's
this
what
isn't
it
a
is.
form of love, or like you're not speaking to the love language that I believe my
Some people
love
don't even
language
know
to
they
be.
proper love
You know,
language.
That's true.
but that's because of what they see. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what they think. That's what
I
they
want to
think
counter
that-
what you just said though.
Mm.
You could argue that it'd be easier to date in your 20s because love can be more unconditional. Think about it. in your early 20s, let's say like 90, consider 19, 20, 21.
Let's say 19 is not.
That's what I'm saying, like in that age range, 19, 20, 21. There's a very small percentage of people that actually have like everything lined up all together.
It's all like money.
Money, as far as like your living situation, money, car, career. So it's much more accepted. You can fall for somebody, be with that person without too much expectations as far as like, you 20, not many people, unless like you really got it like that, is buying like $1,500 bags for their shorty. Vice versa, nobody's buying a car for their shorty. No one's doing this, that, and the third. So it's easier for you to be in that space where like, you like this person specifically for who they are.
Counter your count. Right? So with that, you would then have people, right, that like, so let's say you give it a shorty, but she sees, oh shit, my friend just, her dude just bought this, so like, she sees pictures and all that stuff on Instagram, but, oh damn, they just, like, this person just went out with her dude. Like, when people seeing that, or it could even be a dude that see that, right? You start like, damn, and then you start looking at your partners. And I'm not saying we do, I'm just saying, like, some people, they'll start looking at their partner, and they're like, this dude, you don't even like take me to the movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they start, because what happens is, right, people start judging, like, they start, like, the measuring stick is from what they see. It's not, like, they're not just looking at the person, what they have, truly have, and like, okay, this is what he got, he's working towards whatever the case may be. I'm good with that. Sometimes they look at it like, man, you 20, you ain't got this. Like, I just saw this person.
This person
You pulled up in the G-Wagon.
You know what I'm saying? So they see
Me over
that.
here taking Uber.
You know what I'm saying? So like I know plenty of people, right? They think, like, I just have to tell people, like, maybe before you started, like, I want to get a car. I'm like, why you get no damn car? You take the train, I'll pick you up. But don't rush to get this car. Because I was one of the people like, damn, okay, I should have a car when I'm 19. I bought a car. As soon as I turned 19, I got a car. Listen, sell this shit. This shit killing my pocket. So it's like, I was one of the people that fell for that trap. And I used to always sometimes fall into that too, like measuring, looking at IG, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like even you know, before, it's not I am no more. I used to look at like, I need to show her she gotta have fast, she gotta have all that. No, I'm not, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
The people gonna believe it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know, bro.
They gonna go with whatever narrative is more entertaining to them.
But like, I used to look at it like, you know, like, okay, this is how your shorty should look, or she should do this. Like, but after a while, I realized that when I was getting those type of shorties, I was like, nah, I'm straight. What?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Don. I don't know what you was talking about.
I'm not saying I automatically agree with that. I'm just saying that's a.
Like that.
But that's how it should be.
Because when you're young, you know, a lot of people don't be having it like that. So it's easier for you to be like, I like this person. I like this person's energy. I like how they talk. I like how they speak. Whereas, you know, when you push it 30, you 30, 32, you look at this person like, so.
So paper, that's not me though, because by definition, unconditional love is love regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like
people
love.
gotta understand what love is first.
That's a point.
Because some people never was brought up and shown love growing
Well, I
up.
think I should just leave it. I should just walk out now. But like in the sense of like, like we had a conversation with Angie about this, like unconditional versus conditional love, and I told y'all like I don't necessarily believe like unconditional love for guaranteed. Like we all got unconditional love for each other, that's for a fact. But it kind of, for me, I guess it looks like it feels like it's dicey when we enter a relationship, when we enter the dating pool, successful. You know, and I asked it, people told me stop dropping my phone. So anyway, at that point, but just that aspect of like in your 20s, like down to like we to like you learn to get to yourself. You know, a lot. The phrase I was seeing before was like, oh, you're finding out you're refining yourself in your 20s, like the stuff you used to do, stuff you used to like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm reading again, you know, so I used to do that a lot as a kid. Like I've always watched anime, I'm doing that more as an adult. Like there are things you're getting back to, and you're I guess it's finally building your sense of character in your story, you know what I mean? So like to now input somebody into that, you're already giving yourself unconditional love, you know what I'm saying? So now you gotta take like a piece of that pie and be like, I want to give this. I don't think like it's in your 20s. I don't think it's that unconditional. Maybe people have it, but I mean I don't think it's true. You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, earlier in the week, put in the chat, there's a video, there's interview between Xchvnge and James Baldwin. It's basically, the snippet is called Faking Love. So from her perspective, if you and your significant other in a relationship, you should be able to fake the love at certain points. The example that they gave was, the man goes out all day from morning till night, smiling people's faces, the mailman, whoever he sees, you know, showing them the best of him basically, even if he's not really feeling happy. When he come home, he takes down that veil, and his significant other's wife, she gets the worst of him. He tells her all the bad things that happened this day. I don't really want to do this right now. I'm exhausted. This is the problem. That's the problem. From her perspective, that's not fair to her. You don't really love her, because if you loved her, you would present your best self to her.
But if she loved him, she would hear that out. Not to say all the time. It's a give and take.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, for you to complain, like if you know I'm at a job I don't care about, if you know at a job I don't like, you know what I'm saying, I fake the funk outside, you know I'm already faking the funk outside, bro, like that's tiring in itself. So you want me to fake the funk with you? Like me being like that deeply rooted is like actually me showing you me, like I'm tired, like, you know, without even having to like mask anything at that point, in my opinion, from my perspective. But I get it though, like eventually she does want that, like, how you been, babe, like what's going on, how you doing, like everything Gucci, how was work. For a fact, you should have that energy with your life, but I don't think you should fake it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because then you might resent that person later a little bit.
Yeah,
But that just depends on what your definition of love is. That's where that divide is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but going off of that, I feel like when it comes to relationships, if you're gonna be there for someone, wife, husband, you know, I feel like in that situation, she could hear him out. However, it wouldn't be right for him to be angry or get the worst of him, you know? Like he could sit there and vent, talk about it, you know, she shows empathy and, you know, things get better, possibly. But I don't think it should be a thing that should be faked or like, oh yeah, you know, I'm smiling on your face, even though I had a bad day. Because also that's deteriorating. You know, you don't know, it could lead to depression, he has no one to talk to now.
Word.
Especially as men, we don't show
speak
our emotions.
at all.
Yeah.
You talk from a young age, you know, you just grit your teeth, grind it out, rub some dirt.
Rub some dirt on it.
Walk it off.
You'll be alright.
Robitussin.
What?
Robitussin.
I said, put that thing on it.
Nah. But like I mean, kind of like what I was saying before. Some people, they don't really know what love because they never really was shown. I don't want to say they never experienced it, but they never was shown like one a love and affection too. Like some people get it mixed up. You get what I'm saying? Like some people ideas of it. Like okay, let's say you going through something, and I just be like, "Are you good?" People be like, "Yeah," but I can clearly see something wrong. I just be like, "You sure?" "Yeah." Alright, okay, I did my job. I actually know how to do it. You know what I mean? Like some people think
have a great day.
some people think that's like really checking on him, like, okay, I tried to be there for him, but like you ain't really sit there and really try.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like some people be having that like confused too. Like they are just
That's
they
in
do
the
like
touch.
right. Like some people don't know how to really, but some people was never shown how to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that I remember before, like with y'all. Alright, bro. Hey.
Emotional intelligence on bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
nah, I mean, listen, bro. Like, that's something I had to like learn myself. Like, I didn't really know how to show affection or like love to like friends, whatever the case may be. It was just kind of like, listen, man, I'm not feeling it. I'm kind of like what you said. Like you will let stuff build up. You will go through a lot. You try to put on the front, but after a while, it just piles up.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when y'all trying to be there, I'm just like, I'm good. Like I'm good.
Yeah, but the fuck you asking me?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, how you feeling? Like, I'm good, bro. Like,
That's a dumbass question like that.
you know what I mean? Because it was like I never saw that before. So like it was just new to me. It was kind of like, oh, this nigga's weird. Like, what is he asking me all the time? I'm like, worry about yourself.
Damn.
You should give me that look a lot.
Yo, bro.
I'm saying
Not
that. I
gonna get
apologize,
that,
but like, you know what I mean? But
Bro.
it's just because like you never saw that really. You was just like I was showing a lot of tough love growing up. So like it was to see like the softer side of love. It was kind of like, the fuck, this is weird. It was kind of like, yeah, this happened in school. All right, well. I mean, you were kind of just like, all right, well, that's how people are in the world. You know what I mean? It was never no like, dang, you know what I mean? I could never really go to my mom with no soft story. Like, they kids is picking on me, but hang with your friends anyway. Like, go ahead, get out my room and all that. You know what I mean? So I never, so when people trying to like, y'all would try to be there for me and try to sit there like, yo, you good? Okay, how's this? How you feeling? It was kind of like, ew, this is gay. I'm sorry.
That was the old.
We're not homophobic on this line.
yeah.
You know, we love everybody and we want you to love anybody and be miserable with whoever you want to be miserable.
Tough.
That's different. Don't
I
listen
really
to that
don't.
last part.
Now, listen to that last part. I meant it.
Anyway, coming off of your point, there's two extremes that come from that. You come from the side where you just said, you know, you're not really familiar with the softer side of love, whereas I wouldn't say I had the same upbringing as you, but I had a similar one. Whereas, you know, tough love, in my home there was no space to express yourself.
Shit.
So I knew I internalized that, and growing up, I always tried to make sure within my relationships with others, I went sometimes above and beyond, maybe too much, trying to make sure that they felt heard, try to make sure that they're okay. And that's a negative in itself because I'm 26. I've been doing that for how long?
He's old.
I'm doing that for how long? That kind of wears on your spirit. So it's like, at this point right now, I'm kind of a little bit more reserved with my energy and who I give that to.
Better with that.
And who I give that to, because it's just like,
I just tell them that.
everybody can't get that from you with it. It wears on you, it destroys your spirit, and if you keep going down that road, eventually you're gonna become cold. You're gonna be tired of people.
And it's like, and that's like, even with like some friend, kind of, okay, so even like you said you was able to take it and apply it to your life. I didn't think of that at first until like, you know, it was, honestly, real talk, it was really him. Because when he came to me, like, I'll never forget, we was in Perry, and then like, we was in like, you know, the little common bathroom.
Yeah, I'm about to hear the trauma I dealt with.
So he came, I'm brushing my teeth or whatever. He come into the bathroom. This
This is the short version.
Because it was like for like a month, probably a little longer, right? I know somebody passed away, and like it was real close, so I kind of just like, I'm just good off like life, right? So then he kept trying. He'd come in the room every day. I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like you don't gotta keep. So I'm in the bathroom. He comes in the bathroom. I'm brushing my teeth. He just stand next to me, and like I see him there, but I ain't acknowledge him. I'm just like, "Oh, you good?" So he looked. He's like, you know what, bro? You wanna say? He said, you know what? I tried being your friend, but this how you gonna be? Yo, fuck you. He was like, fuck you. You know what I mean? I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, okay.
But you know what's wild? He gave me the same ass look.
Yeah, I did do it.
He was like, alright. And like for me, when I said it, cause like at that point I was like, yo, bro, like I tried. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you know how you just say like it was good. Like I really like was asking this nigga questions, checking on him all the time. Like you know how niggas go to dine, like we go to dine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or, like do whatever we do together.
Let's go by
Like,
myself.
every day I'm doing that. And then it got to the point I was like, you know, bro, I really tried. Like I'm gonna communicate this, and I'm like doing that. But
And that's when I learned that okay, like what you were saying. You said everybody's going through stuff in your house. that's when I kind of realized that too, because I used to always be in my own world. And even sometimes people that's seeing this probably can relate. Like sometimes I used to get so caught up in like things that be going on in my world, and like my world crashing and burn. I'm trying to patch it, whatever the case may be. I'm not even sitting there thinking like, dang, shit, they got a life too. Shit, I don't know what's going on. His Boobie got a life too. Lex got a life too. Floyd got a life too. And I'm not even thinking. I'm so caught up in what I'm not saying that like anything's wrong, because sometimes you do got to take time to work on yourself.
You
but
do.
Definitely.
I never, because in my crib I dealt with stuff internally for so long. I never was worried about, I brought that.
Outside.
So it was kind of like I had to learn that, and it ain't take once he did that, and I'm like, alright, maybe I am being an asshole. And that's how, so like you said now, I kind of started doing it too much, because then I started checking on everybody, but then I realized, okay, there's people out there, I'm holding the all their bearings and all that stuff, like helping them carry all their crosses and their burdens and all that stuff.
You're not checking on yourself.
And then and also too, they don't even care about none of the burdens you gotta carry. So I'm like, hold on.
No questions neither. It's not reciprocated.
So then now I'm like, all right. So now I have to learn, like you said, you gotta just learn, like, okay,
Balance.
to balance it out, because it'll weigh on you, and then you start, fuck that person. Like I'm trying to, because you start looking at people different. Like, okay, hold on. Like damn. Like I'm not saying that you should always expect people to return your energy, but you'll be like, okay, I'm helping you do this, whatever the case may be. When you take a step back, you're like, hold on, you just take it from me. You ain't really, I don't gain anything from this. This is more energy for us.
I feel like you should expect people to reciprocate, but you gotta look at perspective and levels. So if I know Boobie as a person, I know how he expresses love, anger, whatever, in that situation. So I know if I fuck with you, I'm gonna do shit on a 9, 10. But Boobie, his life experiences made him like, the best you gonna get out of him at a certain point might be a 7.
Facts.
I can't be mad that he's giving me straight 7.
I was waiting for that, because I'm about to say that's dead Boobie's okay.
This is an example.
Bro, that's kind of the truth, bro. But I forgot one thing.
You said, Boobie, I got shot. Word.
Boobie, son. I forgot what. I can't. It's crazy. There was one person I was like, let me talk to Boobie, son, because Boobie's like, he's the most non-judgmental person. I come to Boobie, he like, damn, that's crazy. Like, shit, damn, that's crazy. He's like, so what you gonna do, bro? I'm like, nigga, I give for advice. Help me.
You never gonna get nothing way too extreme out of Boobie. It's never gonna be super extreme until like it's been built.
But he's crazy because you can tell he wanted to do something. But he was like, what do you
But he ain't
But
never
that's
gonna
the thing,
tell
though.
you.
It's like, but going off of that, sometimes people don't want advice. So it's like, unless you explicitly say it,
That's what Boobie wanted. You gotta put it like,
Word.
neon, like,
Word.
help me.
For real though. Like that's one thing you kind of gotta say, like, especially when you're in a relationship or like it's just with a woman in general. Sometimes you just gotta ask, all right, you just told me what's going on. Are you trying to vent or do you want like input?
Right. That's what
If you tell me you're trying to vent, cool, I'm gonna listen. That's it.
yeah.
You go unload whatever what you need to do. I'm not gonna give you no advice because you didn't ask for that.
Exactly. And some people don't like unexplicit advice. Like, it's just like, why are you talking about this? I just want to vent, and they get upset about that.
Yeah, because kind of I ain't coming for that. I just needed an ear. I'm trying to get that out. I mean,
You probably needed an ear, bro. Don't worry about it.
no, at that time I didn't even say something.
Don't do that. Don't.
Bro, and you know what's crazy? If you don't take movie advice, you be like, what the hell I'm talking from? Like,
I ain't gonna hold you. I do that too.
I used to do that. I ain't gonna lie. I got better with that. Because I realized some people not gonna take your advice, and it's just
But
it's
you
what it
would get
is.
so bad. So like, what's good with you? Son?
Nah, because sometimes, right, it'll be like, okay, maybe, like, you might want an opinion, but they'd be like, okay, not that one. That one is terrible. But that one's terrible. Like, if he'd just say something, you'd be like, no.
Shit, where that dude you say some wild stuff like, thank you, bro.
Yeah, like, I just learned to be like, okay, good looks, bro. In my mind, I'm like, oh, shit. But I appreciate it, though.
Nah, for real. But I want to double back on what follow what Leon said. Just like the common courtesy thing about like reciprocating energy. You should want to do that, but I kind of like went through life realizing that you're not entitled to anybody or anybody's energy. You're not like on a dark manner, but in the sense like what you feel should be a way isn't, or it won't, or you know what I mean. So like sometimes you just gotta go. Like I try to go through life just like, all right, it is what it is. Like the situation we had our freshman year, I'm like, well then it is what it is. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily entitled to his thoughts, his energy, his mind, his friendship. It's just kind of like I expect that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shouldn't you though?
Yeah, so I'm
For
saying.
sure. I have that expectation.
My point with that is you should expect that.
Because once we agree, because you know there's that you don't really say it, but it's that agreement. It's like, okay, we cool people. So like,
Oh, so to have that.
it should
type
be
of-
like, okay, you shouldn't have to say, right? That's what I learned too. Like, it shouldn't take for Nate being like, pretty much, all right, I'm done with you, for me to realize, yo, okay, for the past month, I've been treating, you know what I mean? Like, it should just be,
You should be able to
he
bounce
shouldn't have
back,
to,
yeah.
it shouldn't
You should
even
be
get to
able to
that
read
point.
it.
If I truly rocks with Nate, it should never get to that point. And that's like, some people, and that's when I learned, some people don't really rock with a person how much they think they do. Like, you know what I mean? They think they do, but it's like probably a perception or idea or this image they got it. And that's one thing I learned too.
I just started that entitlement. Yeah, I agree with you. It's an expectation because kind of like when you get to that point, like when me and Leon got cool last summer, I was like, oh snap! Like he checking on me, mind you, we be in 2 different locations. I'm like, I guess this is what we doing the whole summer. And like the friendship grew in that man. It got to the point like, what we doing today, bro? What we eating? Like how we gonna survive throughout the day? Because it literally was that for us.
That's how you become. You really become close to people in fucked up
Yo,
situations.
son.
Fucked up
Like,
situations.
damn, son.
Well, nah, we didn't even have one though. It was just ball for us.
Yeah, but
I mean,
well, yeah, but y'all
in a
grew
sense, that
together.
could be like in a sense because you.
I mean, unless you want
I
to
don't
count when I was
even-
about to put hands on Stokes. I was going to put hands on Stokes.
I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, like I don't really mean fucked up situations. I mean like just going through a shared experience.
Right.
But I feel like I was always
He was like
drawn to
bro.
you, but
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
you was one of the only people that was directly around me when my cousin passed, and that was probably one of the worst moments of my life. And you was there. Granted, you know, I was with another person that was no longer in my life right now, but like they was there for me, which I would eternally appreciate. And I guess I appreciated it too much because I let a lot of shit slide after the fact because of the strength of that. But yeah, you was one of the people there for me. And I would eternally appreciate that. However, I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. I appreciate it too much.
Thanks, but no.
Alright, so okay, with the past, like we say, like how me and Lex were saying, how we grew up and all that stuff. Okay, do y'all think? Fuck, I'm trying to blank. Oh,
Past trauma and stuff?
yeah. So like, with like relationships, right? Do you still allow past traumas to
Define who we are.
define who you are, but then also like come into your present
Link you,
relationships? Or like,
link you in life after?
Yeah, because stuff like that is always present until you address it and deal with it. That's why therapy is so big. Until until you gain the tools to deal with that. A lot of people are confused with therapy. Therapy don't fix you at all. It gives you the tools to deal with whatever you're dealing
And
with.
then you work on yourself.
You work on yourself.
It's like take on me.
boom. Is your partners that you choose a reflection of your past trauma?
Alright, so the longest relationships that I've been in have been with women that have, in a sense, been overbearing at points. And that's because, growing up the way I did, I have abandonment issues. So, not to say that like I'm attracted to women that are just like on me all the time.
Because you hate that shit.
Yeah, because I do. Because my upbringing, I'm used to being here and being okay and like being secure within myself. I'm okay being by myself. I actually thrive being by myself. So even if I'm with you, I need that day. I need them couple hours where I'm just in my room doing nothing, chilling by myself, uninterrupted. So when you do that overbearing thing, it's just like you gotta relax. But those have been the situations. Like I said, those have been the situations where I've been with the person for the longest.
I thought we were
No, I forgot the question. I ain't gonna lie.
Do you think, all right, so Neil's part, or you can even use current, is it a reflection of like your past trauma or things you've been through?
I would say no. Only because she there. No. But nah.
So we're gonna ask you again next time we got a different camera person.
Bad. I like that. No.
We still have to see each other.
She gonna watch it.
I'm waiting for that question.
Well, you gonna get the battery in this back because she not here.
But what's
As soon as it goes, he's trying to give you something out of the He gonna pay.
Yo, man, yeah.
He's gonna pass her and come back like, okay, they about to start again.
It was just then.
But nah, I paused it.
But I would say it's not a direct reflection. If anything, I would say it's the exact opposite of what I've been through relationship-wise.
Examples.
It's almost like let me think, like filling in all the cracks of what went wrong in my past. So, for example, like it's actually I'm sorry, but going off.
Hold up.
But in the relationships that I've been in, I feel like sometimes they've been, well, specifically it was just mainly one, but they just weren't there, like mentally, you know. It was just not. It was almost like a pointless relationship because there was nothing that I was gaining from it, only for her, you know. And I kind of feel like in a relationship I am now, it's.
You better say everything. You better say everything good.
You see how he looked up?
He started cheating. Where I'm in
You see
now.
how- But you see how he looked up? Like, right?
He said, is that the right thing to say?
Next person, please.
Was that when we broke? I don't remember.
You
We did that? You got me told
Alright, go ahead, bro. What for?
No, that's it.
I'm not sure, I'll be honest with you, because I feel like, and you know this, and Boobie kind of knows this. Yeah, actually, y'all know, it's like, I was alone, you know, as a kid. You know, I was a kid. So for me, my trauma was the fact that, same thing like you, I couldn't speak at my household. And then more so than after that, like, everything that I would say would get thrown in my face. So for me, it just got to a point where I was like, you know, I'm just not gonna talk to y'all. Like, I'm actually good off everybody. Y'all good. Like, you know, Gabby, throw that shit in my face. Mo, throw that shit. Only when she was tight, but still throw it in my face. Like, there was points in my mom, like, and with the kids with my dad.
You know you gotta go home after this. You name the names.
Nah, I mean, they don't say it's cool,
I'm just saying.
but it's the truth, though. You feel me?
You see, I didn't agree, right?
But yeah, we have to, he said Gabby, I didn't
He's
say
like,
nothing. But like in the sense of like, cause you know the truth in your household, you feel me? And like, I realized with my siblings, especially when you have siblings, like sometimes they may really know you or not, based off the fact how y'all really dynamic is. Me and Gabby are close now because we was always kind of close. But there were certain things I just knew I couldn't say. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I said, I didn't need that. And so for like partners and relationships, I guess for me it's just a recurring theme of the fact that I don't speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never speak. Like, I just be like, if I think something, like she probably say something, my partner would say something, my ex would say something, I'd just be like, word. I'd just be like, I would just completely dismiss it. Cause like, I'm gonna tell you something probably like something I've dealt with or something in the past, and I just don't need you to throw that back at me, you know what I mean? So, it is a reoccurring theme until, I would say until recently, but I'm realizing I'm keeping on with y'all. Like, I'm slowly slipping back into that habit of just like not saying nothing, you know, because like now it's like a level of comfortability that I gotta feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I found, and that for me is like back to one of the topics. Like that for me is what love is to me. Like for me to fully love you, I gotta be able to talk to you, like and feel comfortable without feeling strained of like it just gotta be like smooth as I talk to y'all. Like you really got like sex, I don't care. Like I'll have sex, whatever. Like it don't matter. But like intimacy for me,
Nasty bitch.
All right, y'all right. See,
Keep going.
I said clarify.
I ain't say that.
I know. So what you just said is not
in the
to
sense
be
of
taken
like,
at face
in the
value.
sense of like,
I ain't say that.
nah, in the sense of, in the sense, that's saying something. In the sense of, like, sex isn't, you know, for some people, sex is the ultimate form of intimacy. Like for some people, that's the last thing they want to do with somebody before they, like, you know, settle down. Nah, for me, it's like, I gotta be able to talk to you. Like, I gotta be able to have a full-blown, easy conversation about why my mom did this and how it affected me this way and what trauma may cause in other past relationships, situations, whatever, because, like, or whatever you're gonna ask me. Whatever box I don't want to unopen, I should be able to open it for you with ease. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, I fall back into that habit, and, like, I guess, like I said, sex is just easy because it's like that's one portion of intimacy, of love that isn't that hard to come by, in my opinion. That's it.
I mean, I want to say it's a reflection of like past trauma for me. It's just a reflection of how I grew up, like all my partners. In some way, at least they either presented themselves like it, like a swiper, or like, so like my ex from high school, she kind of reminded me of some of the women in my life growing up that helped raise me, so that kind of was like a drawn to her. That didn't work out because she also was like some of the women that helped raise me, so then obviously Swipe, we're not gonna talk about her. Then with Bree, she was just like, she gave me the feel of me how I was growing up, like laid back, chill, calm, you know, everything. It's not so much about like, you just make the most out of what you got, like it's around you type shit, or like, I think it was like, okay, so for me, I'm big on like conversation, so if we could hold a conversation, talk openly about anything, and it could be about music, sports, well, I could not say sports, because some women don't know nothing about what, you know what I mean, they think LeBron is probably a wide receiver or something, so, just say, so, if we could just openly talk about anything, it could be politics, sports, what's going on in your life, you know, because, you know, obviously it's going to be in stuff that she's interested in. And if she's interested, I'll try to learn as much about it so we can have those type of conversations. Like, or you can just teach me it, and we can still have that type of conversation. Or, like, just doing small things, cooking together, going for walks, going for jogs, going to the movie, like little stuff. Like, I'm big on that. So, growing up in the South, ain't really, especially in Charleston, South Carolina, ain't much really out there. Ain't no bar on every corner or club every corner. Ain't no Times Square. It's houses everywhere, land, dogs, all that type of shit. So we big on just like communication and just being around each other. So that's how she was. You know what I mean? So, and that's like kind of what I look for in a person. So I would say they were a reflection of different parts. Even if we talk about Swipe, she presented herself how the idea or the perception how I thought she was. Once I fully got to understand her, that wasn't who she was. You know what I mean? Even though people told me how she, and I was like, nah, because like I see behind closed doors she like this. But then over time, when this thing started to unwind, I started looking at it like, oh nah, she truly ain't she. Oh, you want to be. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with like people who are flashy, whatever the case may be. I'm just saying like, I never cared for it, you know what I mean? So you ain't gonna come to my crib, see watches and chains and Balenciagas and all that stuff. You're gonna see TV, 2K, my laptop, like, you know what I mean?
Like simplistic, neat stuff that's necessary.
You know what I mean? Like just, like, like I'm more simple, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather spend my money on stuff that like, I'll look back and appreciate. Like, or it was like, I could look back on it and I'll be like, okay, that was like, we did something together. I put money to something to like even like with the podcast, I had no problem spending bread for this. Like, oh yeah, I need $7, $8. Like, cool, there you go.
You got fucking money. He got money.
You know what I mean? But if you be like, all right, let's go out to eat, you just gonna it's like $80 a plate. Nah, I'm straight. Like I got the same $80 a blow, but it's like I'd rather put that into stuff that like it's like a return on investment type shit. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at like my relationship. I have no problem putting money, like spending money on a woman, but it's like look at it like an investment. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you gotta pay me back with money, but like it could be like love or like energy, whatever. I see it, okay, I could.
You can dish that back out how you need to as well.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. I feel like overall in the question, like in trauma, I feel like people do, depending on how it afflicts them in life, do attract their trauma, or the universe sends it back. Because I feel like if you deal with the same thing over and over again, because it's something you have to learn.
Yeah.
Like you have to learn. Until you learn it, you're gonna keep going through it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like that shit is weird. Like, why would you even want to be with somebody that requires you?
It's a twisted form of
Yeah, you're just used to it.
I'm just saying though, but like, this is what I look at, right? If you see growing up, this was negative, why the hell are you attracted to it? Like, that's just weird.
It's almost a mental thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just comes like at well, but anyways, it's like mentally like on a like in terms of law of attraction. If you're always thinking of like, oh, like girls are like this, you're gonna find those girls that are like that, you know. And it won't be like you won't find what you actually want because you're not thinking about what you want. You're thinking about my past.
Exactly. You're gonna keep getting it. Yeah, I believe in the sense of like what you see at young. I think it's because of the fact that you're like as a child, like infant, like we learned this in development psych, like in a sense it's like it's what you absorb, and more so what you absorb, you can definitely turn it into the normal for you. Like so, if like you seen your mom and dad was arguing but like so they were always together still, it's kind of like whoa, boom.
This is how you keep
Like,
staying
that's
together.
how I'm seeing it.
That's
like,
how relationships
That's how
are.
relationships are. Like yo, we arguing, boom, man. We gonna sit down. We just gonna. That's it. You know what I mean? So
Okay, so when I guess maybe I thought about the trauma wrong, right? Okay, so like I know shorties who have been with dudes. Each one of them like put their hands on her, right? So
each one.
I'm saying though, right? So I'm like,
I mean, you gotta go through. No disrespect.
right? So I'm like, how? Okay, like what is it? And when you look at the dude, they each are like the same.
Cut the same.
So
shot.
I'm like, how the hell do you keep attracting the same dude? Like, even though it's a different dude, like, how do you keep attracting? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it should be at some point get out this genre. Like, just they all was like hood dudes, whatever. So it's like, all right, so clearly you should stay away from this. But you keep, it's like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, so that's why I say you keep going back to that same thing, like, cause it's now physically hurting you and mentally.
It could be the hope.
So
It could be the hope. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's
that image of like everybody has a preference. You feel me? Everybody has a
to
preference.
get your
Like,
ass whooped.
nah, in the sense like she probably like I like my niggas hood. I like them real masculine and shit. You know what I'm saying? I want my niggas like
Whooping your ass.
dealing some shit, getting money on the side, hustling ass nigga, and then they don't look at who the person
Whooping
is.
your ass. With the Ike and Tina.
I feel like it's less the idea of who the person is, because I don't think one thing defines you. I think when you talk about traumas and qualities and people, I might have had a situation earlier on in my life where I don't like not being heard. So I might not deal with a woman that's just straight up like, what you say don't mean shit. But she might have those moments in time where something like that exhibits itself. That's not her whole entire being. But when that situation comes up, if I just shrink like I used to when I was younger, that's my fault. If I just shrink and accept that, now I create that space for myself. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do, rather than learning from, okay, this is what I went through when I was younger. Now in my future relationships, when this rears its head, I need to not so much, not say attack, but confront this, lay it out. Yo, this is what I went through when I was younger. I can't thrive in a situation like that. It's not gonna be good for either one of us. I feel like we don't do that a lot.
Well, like say what we've been through.
Not confront the problem,
Just
like speak,
Well,
communicate
both.
the problem, and then confront it at the same time.
I'm about to say, cause I mean, isn't that like when you first meet a person and like you know you talk about your, isn't that what y'all normally
But some people hold things back though.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of us don't know, can't recognize that this is where we came from. That's why I said therapy is so important, because like you discover shit about yourself that you didn't know before.
Therapy, or you could, I mean, obviously you have different forms of therapy. Like I know, I always tell people they should do like meditation and all that stuff. But
I'm talking about professional help.
I know. I'm just saying though, because I look at it right. I be looking at it like, I don't want to pay somebody to tell me to lay down and be like, I'm mad.
But it's more than
I know I'm mad. That's why I'm
okay.
here.
So why are you mad? So now,
It's like,
why
where does
are
that
you
anger
mad?
come from?
Yeah.
Why are you mad?
But that's what I'm saying though. Like sometimes if you could sit with yourself and really get to that.
Some
You
people have
definitely
shutters.
can.
Some
You
people have
definitely
shutters. Some people have shutters.
Or some people don't see certain things that they do as a problem.
You know what I'm saying?
We won't pick up on those
But
certain
okay,
habits.
right? Okay, so when you go to therapy, really they make you really look at yourself, right? They're gonna ask, poke and prod, ask yourselves, whatever, right? To get you to whatever point. But it's the same things you just have to, and that's the thing, like when I was, like with some people, they don't really know themselves, and I said earlier, like they don't know truly who they are, so they look at everything they doing, it's like, okay, like, but sometimes, even if you do it like per week, like you just take a step back and look and reflect on what are the things you did, where you was wrong, where you was right, how could you get better, whatever the case may be, right? Some people don't do that. So, it's like, in that case, it could be hard for them to really look at it like, I ain't do nothing wrong. But when you really take a step back and look at it, and look at the outcome, it's a clear answer. It's just you don't want to admit it, because you might, then it admits that you have a flaw, and some people want to be flawless. So it's kind of...
It's like, we both have a homeboy that he's a hothead.
Right.
You ask him a question, you know, you have conversations with him after years of knowing him. You get to the point where it's just like, okay, I understand why you're like this. And he knows himself to the point where I don't like disrespect. So if I feel disrespected in a situation, that's where my anger comes from. Now, that's face level, honestly. That's bare minimum. You got to get to the root of why, quote unquote, disrespect makes you act like that. Why don't you, like, what's really what's really your relationship with disrespect? That's when you go back.
And that's what I'm saying, like you could, because I was honestly, you lived your life, so you know all the steps you took and how much ever years you've been on the earth. So like, you just gotta go and look back and mentally retrace all those steps that were where you got here. So like, I know for a fact, with me not trusting people or like people staying in my life comes from my father. You know what I mean? I could easily go back and pinpoint, okay, I could never stay friends with people because I never addressed the father situation. Like I had a father issue, like he wasn't there, whatever the case may be, or he pops in and I'm like, okay, are you gonna stay or are you gonna leave again? So like now, with my friends, whenever I have people come in my life, I look at them the same way, like, you will be my friend now, probably 2 months later you will leave, whatever the case may be. And then when I see people do that, now it's really confirmed in my mind, like, but before, I didn't think of it that way. It was just like, oh, we're fake friends, whatever the case may be. But when I took a step back and looked, oh, no, this stems from when I was like 6 years old in the South. Like, this is where this come from, and that's what I mean. Like, you should be able, you could always just, it took me a while to look at it like that, but you could find it. You just got to take the time to do it.
I think now what we're really, I think we're all agreeing to disagree, because now it's the fact that you'd have to deal with someone who wants to confront it. Because if you want to confront it,
yeah, that's what I said though. I said it just, I feel like, that's what I was saying. I said therapy. Because when you said professional help, I'm like, anybody can do it. It's just a matter of the want to, like.
Well, man, as you can tell, we dying down.
This is an open exchange.
That was terrible.
Yo, so just like that,
That was episode 1.
and just like that, you already know what's going on.
Episode 1. You can follow me at
Wouldn't it be honest?
2 underscores.
But if you could put that on the
I mean, yeah, but I want to
But
say
as he
so.
say-
Like I was
as he
saying,
say,
it's
we
2
can put it.
underscores. Dominic.
So like
underscore.
whatever he's saying, if you gonna put
Yeah,
it
that's
on the
messed up.
video,
Why you
nah.
do that? Why you do that?
It's gonna be This is why nobody likes him. Okay, nobody. He's the little brother of the group. Let's just put that out there.
That's
He's the little
cool.
brother of the group.
That
Like like, you know, his voice is like, we hear him,
Wow.
but it's kind of like, shut up, just stay over there. Like,
you won't
that's
let him do that to you.
and
son.
you just
You're not even like that.
So
son.
you
You know what's
You're not
crazy?
talking-
He's talking.
See, that's his
Yeah, where? I
That's
just
that's why he makes the best beats.
Okay,
in
okay.
2K.
So okay, so y'all see how the two little bros they
You know what I'm
work.
saying? Leon, you hear something?
See, look.
But yo, like
It's
I
a
said,
little bro tactic.
like I said, welcome to Open Exchange, where we talk about the chain of events. You know what I'm saying? My name is Nate.
Boobie, you said welcome.
Nice.
We leaving.
I said, like I
You
said,
said welcome though. You started.
because
This is the first episode.
Yo,
You
what's
got
your
some-
problem, bro?
Thank you for watching the Open
Now you doing some older
We
brother
gonna
stuff.
holler
Now you
at
doing
y'all.
some older brother stuff and being like,
It
first
died.
off,
It died. It's over.
he said,
What a masterpiece, such a centerfold, and what a centerpiece. I'd fit you in my schedule. It was hard trying to let you go. Thought I would never grow. Pain that I've always written in words that I've never spoken. Hoping you one day hear the words of